Welcome to TnT Extracted, a gaming podcast where we dive in the world of extraction shooters, the chaos, the strategy, and all the weird stories in between. I am Tuna.
And I am Tactical Donuts, the one who usually ends up carrying out everyone else's loot, if I make it out alive.
To be fair, you do that. Like, I die most times when I ever run with anybody. This is a gaming podcast built around our favorite genre of game, which is extraction shooters. Right now, we're doing a pretty heavy focus on Arena Breakout Infinite, because that's the game we play the most currently. We do have other games coming out like Arc Raiders, Tarkov's still really popular, but we're not really looking into those as much right now. So, Tact Donuts, he had that name change.
I did.
If you could, what would you say is like a good brief explanation of Arena Breakout Infinite for someone who's never played an extraction shooter before, or Arena Breakout Infinite or an extraction shooter before?
It's different. It's not like your arcade shooter type like COD. It's more like think of it like people that played PUBG, something like that, a little bit more hardcore. But you start with your loot that you have when you first make an account. You go in, you try to kill other operators, loot their loot, and then also in-game loot, and you try to make money that way.
Yeah, and talking about like the arcade shooters, because coming from like growing up, I think we all played like Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. And then you kind of run in there, you go in there, you die, right? Like you go in there, get a couple kills, you die. You go in there, get a couple kills, you die. And then I guess the thing that kind of like sticks out to me from extraction shooters is like you try not to die because it sets you back. I guess it'd be more similar in a sense to like battle royales, except for the time to kill is a lot shorter because you don't have plates and all that garbage that like Warzone has.
Exactly. Yeah, you value your life. There is no respawn. It's not, go run, die, respawn, die, respawn. No, it's like you have to play it strategically. You have to know when to push, when not to push, because if you run out every time and play it like Call of Duty, it's going to be a rough time for you.
Unfortunately, I have a couple buddies of mine who tend to play it like Call of Duty. They end up in the spectator screen for a while I'm trying to like rush to extract because I'm trying to play with my friends. Some of the things that like people think about when they think of extraction shooters, I feel like the big one is probably Escape from Tarkov, which has not done very well in the public eye as of late. And I think a lot of people have started moving to Arena Breakout. And I believe you've had some experience with Tarkov. I've had an experience with Tarkov. How would you say it compares to Tarkov?
So Tarkov, it was a fun game. It was, when it first came out, it was, one of the first of its kind. But a lot of things like with Escape from Tarkov was cheaters, and the engine that it's built on is not as good as the Unreal Engine that Arena is built on, and it takes hours and hours to get progress, and not a lot of people want to grind hours and hours on a game. They just want to hop in and play an extraction shooter.
Yeah, definitely more of a casual feeling. Like I don't have that many hours in a Tarkov. I probably maybe put 50, 60 hours in there playing with some of my friends. And I play with friends who've been playing for years. And they'll leave you. Like, the game's so hardcore and it's so rough, and Tarkov is grittier. It's more
hardcore.
Time focus. Yeah, you have to put a lot more time into it. And you can't just like jump in. Arena Breakout, I feel like you can just kind of jump in for a couple rounds if you want to some nights, and then jump off. And like if you miss a couple days, it's no big deal. Tarkov, it's like the endless grind.
Yes, I agree with you there. And the devs, I feel like that's another thing I want to point out. The devs in Tarkov, I don't feel like they listen to their community. But Arena, and anyone that doesn't know, the same people that made Arena also made Delta Force, and they listen to their community, and a lot of times they will put out surveys that you can take, and they'll take that feedback going into the next season, and they'll try to take some things out. 2 seasons ago now, I believe, They had a kill feed idea that they wanted to put a kill feed in the game. People played the beta. They didn't like it. The kill feed never made the live season when it was released.
Nice. Yeah, Tarkov, it almost feels like their devs kind of don't like their players, especially now they're kind of under fire with their hardcore wipe that goes into their softcore wipe, and then like bigger streamers that'll play in it will even say that the softcore wipe just feels like they just kind of backtracked all their changes for the hardcore wipe, and it just doesn't feel like they care. I think it's like something you see in a lot of these newer games, especially extraction games, because Dark and Darker is a one that I'd like to point out is that Dark and Darker, Tarkov, their devs are making the game they want to make and not the games their players want. And you brought up Delta Force. Delta Force, same parent company, Tencent Games, and then even one lower level net in Infinite or something. They it's owned by the same company, so you have the same launcher or the same username and password to log into both games. Delta Force to me is a bit more arcadey. So like, whereas Tarkov is like gritty, I would say like put it at like 100. I would say Arena Breakout's made like 60%, and then Delta Force is probably like a 40%. Delta Force feels like almost closer to what Call of Duty DMZ was. Like it's still pretty arcadey, even though it is a quote unquote extraction shooter.
Yeah, I honestly agree with you with that. I played Delta Force. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It's a good game. But I just think that like Arena does such a better job with like that raw extraction shooter that it's going for. What so I'm curious, Tina, what are like your personal what really drew you to Arena?
But it's funny you ask that. So like I played Tarkov because my buddies play Tarkov, and the experience was not the greatest honestly, and it was just like a game I'd play if they were playing because they wanted me to play. I was looking for a game that still had like the feeling of like that it's very high risk, high reward. And that's kind of what you get for extraction. It's like I played Dark and Darker since Alpha, which I'm not sure if you did. It's kind of it's an extraction game. It's a high risk, high reward. You go in there, you get loot, and you get out. But I wanted something to shoot with guns, and I tried Tarkov again. I was like, dang, dude, I wish there was just something that was a little more casual, like something that didn't feel like I had to go in there and then go to the starter map and then die to someone with 5,000 hours because that happened multiple times. And then I just Googled. I Googled extraction shooters like Tarkov, Delta Force, and Arena came up. And I was like, I just picked the first one, which was Arena. So I was tried it. And then I kind of just fell in love with it, man. It was super fun, super exciting. You make a mistake, you die. You get a really good play and wipe a team. You're like, that means something because it's so difficult to do. How about yourself? What kind of made you stick with the game as long as you have?
I will say same thing. Came from Escape from Tarkov. I put in a decent amount of hours, but I got tired of the cheaters and it was just super frustrating and I didn't like the state of the game was going. So one of my buddies said, "Hey, you should check out Arena Breakout." And I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And it takes me a while to warm up to a game, so I tried it and I fell in love with it right away. It was the engine is so smooth, um, and the player base I think is less toxic community. And going back to what I said before, the devs listen to their community, which is huge because I maybe ran in like 1 to 2 cheaters, if that, in like 600 hours worth of gameplay, which is very impressive.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Tarkov, I run into multiple cheaters a night. This game, it's so questionable. Like most of the time, if there's someone cheating, that they're probably not. There's a bigger streamer. I'll name drop here. Critical that I watch. He challenges every single person who ever says they got killed by a cheater, and then he'll watch the VODs, and most of the time he will disprove that they're cheating. They're just good. Like it's their engine's so good at keeping out cheaters, especially compared to Tarkov, that you don't debate that you're a cheater. It's very rare, very uncommon. I've been playing for about a little over 6 months probably, I think you've been playing longer than I have. I may have had once or twice where I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a cheater. But as many, I mean, we're both streamers. We both stream the game. We both play almost every single night. To say, once or twice, like one or two rounds in the entire like 6 to 9 months we've been playing the game, we've ran into cheaters. I think that's better than any other game I've ever played, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, their anti-cheat's amazing, and they always post. They post like I think it's weekly. They post like, okay, these are how many cheaters have been banned or how many IPs been blocked. And I think that's really good. You have to care about your community of the game because without your community, you have no game. Um, what I was gonna ask you, Tuna, is so from first starting off when you first, because you said you've been playing about 6 months now.
Yeah, give or take about 6 months. I think that's about because I started playing this game shortly after I started streaming because I've only been streaming for about 6, 7 months, and I've stuck with it the majority of the time.
Okay, so like when you first started playing compared to now, how do you feel about, like the game direction that they're going?
Well, I had a little point of contention. So I started in the probably the second half of season one, not the early access season one, like full release season one. And the game was very gritty. It was grittier than it is now. Like, so it wasn't as gritty as Tarkov. A lot of good quality of life stuff when it comes to building your stuff. They definitely added some better quality of life stuff, like your preset kits and your how your market shows up when you're like equipping stuff. It just makes it a lot easier. I saw that they were adding the UAV and the heartbeat sensors, and I was like, oh man, here they go. They're going more arcadey. It's going to make the game worse. But I don't think that's the case at all. I think I was just had bad experiences with other games. I think everything they've done and added to the game has made it more fun. I use those UAVs all the time. Like if I pick one up, I'm like, okay, is somebody where I'm going because that's good. And I want to know. I get the intel. I go over there and we'll fight them. And it tells them too, which is nice because it's not like you're just getting intel and they're like left in the dark. I've had someone scan me multiple times, and I'm like, okay, I know somebody's coming, and I've won the fight because they gave themselves away.
Yeah.
Added new weapons. They've done some map changes. They've done minor changes in like Northridge and TV Station. Major changes 2 seasons in a row now in Farm, which I'm kind of wishing they'd go and work on some other maps. But I think all the changes so far have been pretty good. You've played a little bit longer than me. I'm not sure if you actually played in the early access point or not. Well, how do you feel about the changes they made since the beginning?
So funny enough, I think you and I kind of started at around the same time. I remember, I think it was like late season one. I want to say I played. I didn't play that much, but I played a little bit. Um, I love the changes that they're going with. There's always questionable changes, but to add to the UAV, yeah, we were just like, okay. But once seeing how the community reacted, I'm like, I don't feel like this is going to be overpowered because even though they add questionable things in from time to time, they do try to balance it so it's not like overpowered or it's not ridiculous. Another thing that I liked is the ping. Being able to ping where an enemy is huge in a team. Like I know they're probably gonna be like, "Oh, this is just like Call of Duty, like playing Warzone. I can ping someone," but like, no, it actually helps. It's not like super OP or anything. Being able to ping where an enemy is, so your teammate knows instead of relying on the compass, like east west.
The compass was so rough, man, because somebody would be like 50 feet to your right and say, "Oh, he's at 230," but their 230 is not your 230.
Exactly. No, I agree with you 100% on that. Um, yeah, I'm very impressed. And considering that Arena started as a mobile game and it's now just released on Steam and it's been out for as long as it has, it's very impressive like how good they have made this game and how much progress has been made in a short amount of time compared to, I'm not even gonna lie, I can't even remember how old Tarkov is now, but they've had so much time to make the changes that are needed. And Arena is they're just by leaps and bounds with compared to Tarkov at least.
Yeah, like I said, 6 months, man. And like, I remember the very first thing I was like, I really wish they would have more to do. because season 1 you finish you finish your tutorial quest when you first start, your regular missions, and then you finish your season missions, and those were done immediately. So then it became a game of just going in and getting money, and then you were getting money to then just buy more weapons and more gear to go make more money. So that was like the end goal. Season 2, they added a little bit of like a gun system that you could put the gun on the display, a little bit of a trophy shelf, but they were kind of missing some things, so it gave you a little bit more to do. Season 3, season quests went crazy. I'm still doing them. I know you finished them like the first or second week. I am still working on the season quests. I have like 2 left. The stash, the hideout is cool. The crafting, like I always said, I wish they would have had something like that, because Tarkov had something like that. They gave you something to do when you ran out of missions to do that. Added more stuff to the display shelf. I don't know. It just seems like they're constantly adding more to do. Now, at a certain point at the end of the season, I will probably get to the point where I'm like, hey, I kind of wish they had more stuff to do. But then the next season will start, and they'll add more stuff, and it'll be good.
Yeah, no, they definitely have added a lot. Being able to craft things is huge. Taking red ammo out of the game was such a big deal because, I mean, there's plenty of snipers, there's plenty of snipers still on a lot of maps that are just sitting or laying down. And like, I mean, I do it too. Everybody does it, whether they say they admit they do or not. I mean, it's part of sniping. You're not going to be running around trying to one tap someone. Um, but yeah, I would like to see more craftable items. Even some tier 5 ammo for next season would be pretty cool to see.
I was just about to say the jump from you're making T4 ammo to the next level you're making T6 ammo was like, I was like, why? I would use T5 ammo more if I could craft it. Like T6 ammo, and you said they took away T6 ammo, and it did for about half the season, but I was at the point where I had like 700 rounds of T6 ammo because I just kept crafting it every day. Now it was a money drain, but I had it. I had over 500 rounds of M61, and I was taking the M110s and the M24 in with T6 ammo every run. But it'd be really cool to be able to craft like 995, like
Yeah.
A1 ammo, HK ammo. I think that would be really cool for next season.
And that's another thing I wanted to add too, is that I'm very, very much hoping either soon or next season that they do something with the HK by nerfing it, because
Take the HK out the game, man. Take the HK out the game. It's like, it's to the point where if you are running a Forbidden and you're not running an HK, you're dumb. Like, I'm not, like, obviously, you can still make it work with like an SJ or any other, but like, if you want to be the best, you got to run an HK. It is just that much better than every other gun.
It is, and it's like you just feel at such a disadvantage, even with T6 armor, that an HK fire rate is crazy, and it doesn't, like, yeah, it's one of the most expensive guns in the game to run, but once you run it with M995, it's over. If whoever you're shooting at with that, they're just gonna drop right away. And
it's super fast fire rate, it's like a laser. It doesn't move when you're shooting. It is crazy expensive though compared to other guns.
Yeah, and last season why can't I think of it? I can't think.
The FAL, the AEK, those were real big last season.
The AEK, thank you. The AEK they nerfed, and I don't know why they shouldn't have nerfed it, because it was right up there with everyone was either running an HK or an AEK. But at the same time, maybe it's a good thing that they nerfed it, because then hopefully the HK gets nerfed. That's why it's really hard to play Forbidden, because like we said, everyone runs the HK. So Lockdown is more fun for me because you get a wider variety of fights and gear versus just the blast helmet and HK.
Speaking of Lockdown versus Forbidden, I personally think that they should maybe do something different when it comes to limiting gear between Lockdown and Forbidden. Either open everything up to everybody like Tarkov, where you can just run into Timmys and Chads in every raid, or make it to where I don't have to fight full T6 HKs in Forbidden now in Lockdown, and they have done better. They have done better about it because they added a 1 mil cap. but it's just like secure ops. I'm not sure if you've ever spent any time with secure ops. If you just get your armor, you buy a little used busted T6 armor, you can bring that shit into lockdown. You can make that limit. And I'd say that because I just went through it last night where I was trying to do a TV station run, and I got killed with someone with a blast helmet and an HK and a lockdown. And I'm like, how the hell? You're not supposed to be able to do that, but typical arena breakout, you can kind of find ways around the gear limit pretty easily.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been guilty of it this season of doing it. I've been running, you know, try to find high durability T5 stuff, and then even running like a full kitted M4 and have like stripping the gun, putting it in your rig, and then loading in and then assembling your gun so that way you can get into the raid without being capped. One other thing I was really surprised about was that they increased the amount of money for normals. They went from, I believe they went from 400 to 450, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, it was 300 initially, and now it's 450. It was 300 last season. It was 450. Yeah, it was, and I get why they may have done that because everything's getting so expensive. But I feel like they overcorrected to the point where you can now bring T5 armor into normals if you wanted to. If you're not running T4 in armor in normals, like you had to like this season, you had to kind of like make it work to get T4 into normals. Now you can bring T5 in normals, and if you're not running T4 in normals, you're wrong. I think normal should be T3 and below, personally. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because especially for new players that are just like trying to learn, a lot of new players are not going to have T4 off the rip. They're going to be running T3 and they're just going to get, ran over because the bullets that you come with in the beginning are all tier 3 and you're just going to be shooting these tier 4 guys and wondering why they're not dying, and like, oh, it's like really hard to get your rhythm going for learning this game that way.
Yeah, speaking of new players, I feel like I've been seeing, we had the big influx of new players once we did the Steam release. We had Steam release and Season 3 released at the same time. And we saw a huge influx of new players. But I still think they're there. I still think we're still growing as a game and the new players are still coming in. Because I will kill people on lockdown. And I will swear up and down they're a bot. And then I'll look at their gear and I'm like, oh, this is definitely a real player. Because like they'll either be like a streamer or like have like a name that you're like, okay, that's not a real thing, that's a real player, or they'll have just like odd shit in their stash, like in their bags and their rigs, and I'm like, what are these guys doing? Like I feel bad for them to an extent because I'm like, I wish I could talk to them and say, hey, I know this may have worked in like Tarkov, or you're not new to it, you're new to the distraction game, or you're not familiar with how this game works, but like, stop running 700k guns with T3 ammo in it. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do agree with that. I've been seeing a lot of new players, even on like the chattier maps, like like Armory or TV. There's been I think we have grown so much with the Steam release, and it's super exciting that knowing that the game is still getting a lot of people on the game. Because I mean, I'll be honest, I don't feel like I've ever played the game for like, let's just say a week time and noticed, oh, the game, like we're losing players. No, there's always been a lot of people on this game, and like the community for this game is amazing. People, instead of like Tarkov where it's like toxic, a lot of it is toxic, not all of it.
Yeah.
People encourage you to come play Arena, and we want the community to keep on growing because this game is so worth to play. I mean, the game is free. And the biggest thing when it comes to buying anything that I always recommend, especially if you're listening to this as a new player, is you'll want to increase your container size without a doubt.
Yeah, I was a holdout on the container size. But then you got to, if you pull a red and it's like 2x3 and you can't fit it in your free bud or even the 2x2 that you can get, it feels so bad. It's so worth it. And there's actually a little trick, and I don't know, hopefully they don't pass this if they hear this. I'm sure most people know about it. If you pay for it one time and you keep getting those little vouchers for like 7 days, 15 days, 30 days, they'll basically, what you do is you use those, it'll cut the time in half. So if it's like a 30-day voucher, it'll cut the time in half to 15 and then add it to the end of your butt. So I've only ever paid for it one time, and I still have 80 days, and I've come from season 1. So you just keep putting those little vouchers on there, and it'll go. And speaking of the community of this game is fantastic. Me and you, I don't, for those of you who may think that we may have good rapport and we were friendly, we have met each other through this game. We were both, streamers, and we had like you ran into my channel first. I can't remember. I think you may have popped into my channel while I was streaming.
So oddly enough, I think either someone that you were playing with, or I can't remember if he killed me or I killed him. But I went to go look on his stream. I can't remember who it was. But you were in the team, and then you had said something like, "Hey, come over to my channel as well." I was like, "All right, cool." And then I ended up following you, and then we've been freaking gaming, and now we're doing this podcast together.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, man. Like, I'm gonna get some shout outs here. JW, which he's a partner Twitch streamer. He was streaming Arena Breakout Infinite. And then Juxto and JK Toa. Those are like the 3 streamers who gave me my very initial intro into the community for Arena Breakout Infinite. So JW and Juxto, they stream together, and they rated me like, I don't know, it was like 8 times in 2 weeks. It just constantly dropping tons of people on me. At one point they dropped 175 viewers on me, which was crazy. Because I don't average 175 viewers, but it was just starting out streaming too, and I was made me super anxious. I don't know if you've ever had 175 people dropped on you, but as a streamer who's been streaming for 2 months, I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do. Like I'm like super anxious. My hands were shaking.
I've never have personally. I wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah, it was wild. What happened was the biggest specifically ABI streamer rated them, then they rated me, so I got the tail end of like, I got 175 people dropped on me midstream. But they actually JW and JK Toa. JW, like I said, he's a partner Twitch streamer. He sat in my chat for an entire night just teaching me and showing me how to play the game. JK Toa was there as well. Him and JK Toa were both doing that. And I still play with JK Toa to this day. Like, I don't know, you probably see me. That may have actually been the person who was streaming that you came over from, because there were 2 people I played with a lot, especially initially. It was JK Toa and Chief Stabaho TV. Love his name. Yeah. But yeah, I've met a lot of good people through streaming this game, and then just like people jumping in my chat or just playing with people randomly. It's a very good community for the most part. Obviously, you have your dregs, but
oh yeah, you definitely. Yeah, I agree with you, man. The community is amazing. A lot of people that I play with, I've met through playing this game. And shout out to my buddy Tyler that got me started playing this game. I don't think he was expecting me to get as addicted as I have, but
and that's Ohio, right?
Yeah.
If you ever on Tax their stream, he's streaming with an Ohio or one of his mods. Actually, I see that he had the little mod tag that Ohio. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ohio.
Yeah, and it's funny because we were playing Gray Zone when we came from Gray Zone to Arena, because he was like, dude, you gotta try Gray Zone, it's good. I was like, okay. I liked it. It was a good game, but it wasn't Arena.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny. There's another streamer who's bigger than me, who he's actually really he's supported me, or he's been following me on TikTok and Twitch since like week 1 of me ever streaming. His name's Diamond Killer. I'll give him a little shout out. He is majority of the time the biggest streamer on Gray Zone Warfare, which means he has like 20 people. Because Gray Zone Warfare community in the off white, because they'll do like updates. They'll gain traction, but off of like the first month of them getting that update, the biggest streamer will have 20 views. So he's actually keeps pushing that for me to try it. And he's like the biggest Warfare streamer most of the time because nobody's streaming the game.
That's insane to think about. And I remember you telling me about that. And it's like, Yeah, when you play the game, you wouldn't think that it would just be that limited, but I guess, between, really, in my opinion, the main three extraction shooters right now is Arena, Tarkov, and Delta Force.
I agree. I agree. It's surprising to me, and I'm not trying to no shit talk on Delta Force. I played it for a night actually with my friend Diamond Killer, and both of us were like, it just feels too arcadey, and maybe that's what people want. Some people seem to prefer that. I've seen, interacting with other small Arena Breakout Infinite streamers, I see them some of them, I'll end up seeing them play Delta Force more, or going back to Tarkov, or just going to a completely different game altogether. Um, yeah, it scratches an itch for some people. I just think Arena Breakout scratches the itch that I want it to.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you with that. Like I said, Delta Force, no smack talk, Delta Force, but you're just
No
not
smack talk.
Arena.
You're not Arena, but kudos to the company Level Infinite, because they did both. They're providing, the people who want Delta Force. It's so funny when I see people say, when people get adamant one or the other, they're like, oh, Delta Force is better than Arena Breakout, Arena Breakout is better than Delta Force. I'm like, that company wins either way. Like, it wins either way, dude. You're playing one of their games, they don't care.
Oh yeah, they definitely don't. And speaking on that topic, what do you think about the Escape from Tarkov and Arena Breakout drama that you see?
Well, so I watch Landmark a lot, and I watch I use him as an example because like a lot of the bigger streamers have played Arena Breakout, right? And they're all partnered with Arena Breakout, and they did the big event when Arena Breakout was doing like the tournament. But Landmark uh plays both pretty regularly. And it's really funny because you say the drama, because his chat specifically is slam full of drama. People talking shit about Arena, people talking shit about Tarkov, to the point where he's like had to like ban people because they won't stop arguing in his chat because he goes back and forth with Arena and Tarkov. And for someone like him, who's like one of the biggest known Tarkov streamers, to then be like, hey, sometimes I just have more fun playing Arena because the state of Tarkov is kind of dog shit right now. And kind of just hoping and praying that when 1.0 releases, it'll fix problems. Um, it's really interesting to see, because even at the higher level of the streamers who play the game for a living, Peanut even, I've heard him say the game's dog shit, but then he plays it every night because it's just very interesting to see how everyone who plays Tarkov, or a lot of the bigger people that play Tarkov, seem to not enjoy it, but it's like the devil, and then someone will come to ABI, but it's not the same. They're completely different games.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. One of the biggest things I'm seeing, especially on like I watch a lot of even you know ABI and Tarkov's clips on like TikTok or whatever, and in the comments, it's just straight war, man. It's it's just like, oh, Tarkov's better because it's more raw, it's harder, and then people are saying Arena is like, no, Arena runs more smooth. And I mean, I get why certain people feel certain way, but I just think that Nikita, the developer for Tarkov, he needs to just listen to some of those key points that people are like, oh, this is why, I ran over. But at the same time though, the more and more he doesn't listen, the more and more players we get on Arena, and that is perfectly fine for me. And sometimes I don't like drama per se, but I like that people are getting a little competitiveness about staying their ground in the game. But I have seen such a big influx in people leaving Tarkov to Arena. I don't know, man. I don't know if they can save it with the Steam release.
Well, we have the Steam release, they have their Steam release coming up, and they'll probably gain some new players, right? Tarkov will get new players just from Steam release. People will come back. People will, because it's 1 point. It's not only Steam release; it's 1 point. So no more wipes. They're pretty much, they think this is the game. It's finally released after 10 years or however long it's been now. Um, and Tarkov has its place. Like I was talking to, I was playing last night. I was playing ABI with a buddy of mine last night, and we'd even discussed going and playing Tarkov just to break up the, not I'm gonna say the monotony, but the constant like playing ABI every single night, because sometimes ABI gets a little uh rough to play. And not saying because the gameplay is rough, because you're just getting beat constantly, you're just having bad nights, and you're like, okay, I need to go do something else. So I have the EOD edition of Tarkov. I spent the $150. I did my time. Um, and I think Tarkov does have things that Arena doesn't have. I think you should be able to like both games. I am more partial to Arena Breakout. Don't get me wrong, but every once in a while, there's certain parts of Tarkov that's like the RPG elements, the the maps. I mean, it's a little grittier. It seems like the maps are more real. And this is another conversation we were having, is that VoIP in Tarkov works because everything's like more open. Their maps are bigger. There's more time in interactions usually before the kills, especially if you're like in buildings with a ton of rooms. And that's something you don't really get with Arena Breakout. You don't have a building with a ton of rooms that you're like, having to fight through. Everything's more open in Arena. So maybe VoIP won't work as well. I still want it. I still want VoIP in Arena Breakout. Don't get me wrong. It's just they have their niches. And if you've played either game, say you play both games for 50 hours, which I have, I could say that. I can, any more than that, maybe not. You can say, okay, these are very different games.
Yeah, they are very similar game genre, but yeah, they are very different games. And I really hope that VoIP comes to Arena. Oh my, it would be awesome. I know I'd put money on it that Peanut would start playing Arena way more, because he says he likes the game.
It's really funny you say that, because I actually watch Peanut from time to time. Watched it live. Him say people asked him, hey, you're going to play ABI, because this was leading up. This is before the tournament, before he actually like officially played it and was partnered with them. They're like, hey, are you going to play ABI? He said, oh, I played ABI before off stream. He said, I think ABI is a great game. It's just missing one key component. And he said, boy. And then fast forward to the tournament, he was actually playing ABI. He was having like a little pre-interview or something going on where he was talking with like the devs, and basically he just kept mentioning, hey, I could see myself making a switch possibly if you added VoIP. And from my understanding, they were like, well, think about it. So
that's exciting.
The burnt peanut may influence the VoIP and ABI decision.
I really hope so. And to touch on things that are coming up in the new season, the one thing is the new map, Airport. I mean, that's huge. We have when's the what was there any new maps, or no? It was just the farm expansions, right? There was no other. I mean, there's minor tweaks to
Northridge. Northridge came out at season 1. So if you played pre-season 1, to my understanding, Northridge was released on official, like, not pre-season 1. So that's why, like, especially all the regular missions push you kind of to go to Northridge. So that was our newest map, but for us, it's always been there. And then they made 2 seasons worth of changes to farm, minor changes everywhere else. But
yeah, you know what's funny? I feel like I had a brain fart. I'm not gonna lie. I do remember. I did play a little previous to Northridge, but it wasn't much. I didn't put much time in the game. So I think maybe I played a little bit longer than you, but not by much. But I remember when Northridge came out. Oh, dude, it was amazing. Like, that season was so huge with the changes in the map. And I think when Airport comes out, I really think it looks like a really good map from the screenshots that I saw on the Arena Breakout Twitter page. I know Owen went over it a little bit on stream. I'm very curious to see what guns come out, because I'm not gonna lie, I was not very impressed with the guns that they released this season.
well, we went through 2, so not counting season 1, we've had 2 new seasons and 3 new guns. Right? I don't think they released any new guns in season 2. and then they released 3 guns in season 3, and nobody uses them. Like none of them are in the meta. Like they're not bad guns, right? PP19's fun to use. Is like a budget MPX. The ZC 807, 801 or 807, it's like a better Scar. That's what I compare it to. And then the AN94 is, I don't know. I saw Critical using it this morning and it seemed pretty fun, so I might give it a go. But nobody cares about those guns, man. Nobody cares about those guns.
No, not at all. Like,
They did add the AUG in season 2. They added the AUG in season 2. I remember that.
Yeah. Was the MK14, was that also added season 2?
MK14 was season 2. AUG MK14 was season 2.
Okay. Yeah, everyone thought the MK14 was going to be the new meta. And
it's not.
Yeah,
the recoil is so bad on it. It's so bad.
Oh yeah, it's pretty rough, and I'm hoping to see, honestly, in terms of what I would like to see for gun, I'd like to see maybe a revolver. That'd be kind of cool to add to the game. Like, we have a revolver, but that thing
sucks. It's so bad, dude.
It's pretty dog shit.
It's so bad. Me and my buddies were doing a gun game, and the gun game started on the TO5, the little tiny revolver, and we couldn't get past it. We could not get a kill with the TO5. It was so bad. But dude, you know what's crazy? I actually made a TikTok. The TikTok I made like a month ago where I was like, dude, put a revolver in. Delta Force has a revolver. It's like a big fuck ass revolver. And it's so big, it's like you could put a rifle stock on it and an extended barrel, and you can make it a rifle.
That's insane.
Like, that would be pretty cool. That'd be cool. They do exist in real life. A big revolver would be cool. Now, I would probably never use it, but add some more LMGs, man. We have one LMG, and that's the RPK.
That is true. That is, yeah. Add more LMGs. Maybe I'm
gonna hate them when people start using them, but it's just like, give some diversity, man.
What is it? Is it called the M24 Saw? Is that what it's called? Add that with like a 100-round belt fed.
Yeah, I was watching Landmark play Tarkov yesterday, and he had this big ass LMG that had like the big like giant square magazine that he was just blasting. I was like, I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Can't be worse than an HK.
Oh God, no! I hope not. Well, maybe with some leg meta and a bipod.
Yeah, put that T1 ammo in it, dude. Just start blasting.
Talking about also adding to that, I really hope, I've seen in mobile that they have RPGs and grenade launchers. I hope that doesn't come to.
I hope that does not come to AVI.
But one thing you could bring from mobile is some cases for storage, please. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, Tarkov does it. Tarkov is big on that. Tarkov, I mean, if you go to any person who plays Tarkov like regularly, like a big streamer, like Landmark, Fragus, Peanut, look at their stats, just slam full of cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'd be good because I run in a space. Especially at the beginning of the season, I have to start selling shit in my stash because I just ran out of space. I don't have anywhere to put anything.
Yeah, it's like, now I have maxed out. I don't know how much storage spaces you have. Mine's maxed out. But like, I would like to be able to have more stuff. Not for flex or money or nothing like that. It would just be nice because I have ADHD, so I literally just shove stuff in places. But it's organized chaos is what it is. And I would like to have cases, so at least I could be like, okay, this weapon case is going to be all my snipers. So at least it's like in its own little case. And it's not like, because, I'm usually spamming organize all the time.
I hate organize all the time. One thing that's like, I guess, beneficial from like Tarkov that you don't have to like organize your cases as much is that you don't really have to have stuff in specific places in your inventory to find it, because when you go to equip it, it doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's in your inventory, you can, right? So we do have that quality of life that kind of balances the need for cases. But when it comes to space, I completely agree. Give us some cases.
And ammo cans would be huge.
Yeah, are there any other like features in the game? Because they added some things that I don't know if anybody was asking for this, but those little buy stations, I use them every once in a while just to buy like a UAV, just to see if somebody's like okay, like when I'm in radar station in Armory and it's like 15 minutes for the game into the game, I'm like, okay, I just want to check to see if anybody's in Armory because I'm gonna go in there if not. But other than that, like I'm not going to the house in the middle of the field and farm to hit that thing. I'm not going to radar specifically to hit that thing. Uh, so I think that that may have been a feature that was added that people weren't asking for. Or at least I wasn't. Are there any like features from other games that you think you'd like to see come to ABI? I did really like the drop off one, the one where if you get a player kill, you can drop off like a 2x3 worth of stuff. I did like that one. But is there anything that you could foresee like being a good change in the future?
Um, well, a couple things. So yeah, buy station. I agree with you on that. And I don't think anyone asked for that. I've never used it actually. I don't think I have. One thing. This was just rumored, and I don't know. That's all hearsay. But someone said they took the container from Delta Force and brought it here, the one that we grind the season for. And I know Tarkov does that as well when you grind for, it's called the Kappa container, the biggest
Kappa.
container.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't know. I'm on the fence because a lot of people were talking about one change in the game they might want to see, and then there's the other side that doesn't want it. Is when you shoot someone, they don't go down; they just die. So
Yeah, so coming from Tarkov, that was like an odd change, and it's crazy. I didn't even know it was a thing for a while because I played solo a lot initially, and I was always the one dying because I was new to the game and I was bad. That I was just like when I first started playing with the team and somebody went down, I'm like, "Are you like?" I was like, "Did you go down?" I was like, coming from Tarkov to that, I was like, "I just expect you to die." I I don't hate the down system because it's really easy to go down and then die. I say that, and then I'm gonna like be very hypocritical here, or be very vice versa. Is that why does it take so many shots to kill somebody when they're down? It feels like when I'm down, I die immediately. When someone else dies, I have to shoot them in the head 3 times before they die. Maybe make it easier to kill someone who's down. I think that would be better. Take away the self revives, even though I don't think anybody's using them now that you have to craft them. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't know. The going down has made some of my games better, but it also makes it very annoying when I down somebody and I'm like, well, shit, they just got back up. It felt like I didn't do anything good. How do you feel about it? Do you want them to take away the down?
I don't know, man. I'm like, like I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. Like, yeah, it works great when it works in your advantage, but when it doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
there's been plenty of times where, and also this is another thing that I've seen happen. This actually happened last week. My teammate downed somebody with an SJ. His teammate revived him, and then my other teammate ended up killing him again, but killing him final. So then that teammate missed out on all that loot because he didn't get the
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah, I hate it, man. I'll down somebody from across the way and I can't get to him to finish him off. Their teammate will pick him up, and I'm like, well, I got the kill, and then I died from them later on in the game, and it's just like that dude would have been dead. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think honestly for right now I think it's fine. It's not like something that's like I want necessarily to be changed because it has helped me a couple times where someone may be sitting in a room, they down me and I'm able to crawl out the room and then my teammate comes and kills them and then I'm able to get up and I'm not out of the fight permanently.
yeah, I do appreciate that it gives the kill to the person who downed them, not the person who killed them while they were dead.
Yes.
I do
Um
appreciate that.
One other thing that I wanted to mention too, I love the key system. I will say, I do love that they put, for forbidden it's 3 uses, lockdown 2, and normal 1.
Yes, I burn keys on normals now if I'm playing with some of my new buddies just because like it's one use. Might as well. I pulled reds from normal, so might as well.
Th-
Speaking of which, I had a story where I was running normals because it was during the day when I should have been doing something else. I'll say that. I was running normal runs, and I killed a new player, and I felt bad about it because like you could tell he was new because he was bad, but he was like moving like a player and he had like a real name and everything. But as soon as I started looting him, he had one of those gold helmets on him, and I was like, "Dang, dude! I know he only has that in his inventory because he has the 1x2 butt, and he can't fit it in there."
See, this is
I was
why it's
like,
important to expand your case because
"Expand your case.
you don't
Expand
want to
your
die with a
case."
red in your bag. That's like one of the worst feelings because you get so excited. It's like winning the lottery and finding out the ticket was a scam.
The two buddies I play with the most, both of them were very like, "Oh, I'm not going to spend money on the game. It's a free game." and then they both had instances where in the same day they lost 2 reds because they couldn't fit it in their butt, and they're like, okay, I'm never not gonna have a butt again because it's just
Yeah.
it feels bad because you're picking up those 2x3 like the golden lions or the vase or whatever, and you just lose it
Yeah.
because you were too cheap
Yeah.
to find the butt.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely need it, especially with limited edition red items that I've seen an influx in, the gold helmet. And now the penguin is back. They brought the penguin back.
Have you got the penguin?
No, I haven't got the
I have
penguin
not got.
yet.
I have not seen it. I have not seen it yet. I want it. I have not seen it yet. And we got the pumpkin coming up in
Yeah,
a couple days.
I saw that. I'm very interested to see that too. Like, I like that they're doing the limited edition. I know they're running like a almost like a competition right now who can design like some new reds that might appear in the game, which is really cool.
Yeah, it really seems like I'm not part of the official Tarkov Discord, but I have some buddies that are. But the ABI Discord, whenever I check it out, it's like there's always some kind of like Discord event going on. There's always some kind of like reach out to the community that's like provide your input on reds. Hey, if you like this and share this, then you have a chance to win this. Or there's always feels like there's something going on in the Arena Breakout Infinite Discord. Now, I'm not an active person who goes in Discords. I was part of the Darker Discord for a while. I just go there to check up like patch notes and stuff, because they usually put them there before. But it was really cool to see that community outreach in the Discord. It just seemed really cool. Like they care.
Yeah, that's
about player count.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love seeing that. I mean, I met Austin, who I play with, aka Savage. I met him on a looking for group arena Discord. And like I met a lot of people that way because like I know. So my biggest thing is I don't play arena solo that much because I don't know. It's way cooler going in a raid and someone gets a sweet kill and you're like, oh my god, that was so cool seeing that, and like the team dynamic is really cool versus like playing solo. Now I have respect for solo players because you build a lot of skill playing solos and you'll make a lot more money.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, that's the big thing. My next to finish that was if you make it out alive.
So I started the game playing a lot of solo. And 2 of my buddies, my good friends that I actually know in real life, they started to play more. And I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna play with you. I do like playing solo, especially if I have like a good chat going, like some people, like active participants in the chat, because I feel like I get that good, like almost like one-on-one with the chat versus me versus like having to go back and forth with my buddies I'm talking to and then the chat. But I feel like I have not played a lot of solo lately. It's only when they don't get on. And then like I always have the chance of like, oh, you see that I'm online and you see I'm like by myself, you pull me. And it's like the community's so good, it's hard for me to play solo, which is good. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. No, nothing bad about that. You meet great community.
Oh yeah, I played a couple solos. They're not, I've had a couple good solo games, but like Critical, man, I see him mostly playing solos. I know that's like probably one of the main streamers I think that you watch.
Critical, and you watch Seal, the Seal TV. He plays primarily solo as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, he plays solo. One of the, and I know going back to our conversation of people we watch, solo, man, I have to give my hat off to him because when I first started playing ABI and trying to learn the game quickly, I watched a lot of his like how to make money videos, Zero to Heroes, like stuff like that, and I love his play style. And I have an interesting question, Tuna, to ask you. Out of all the ABI streamers, players, who would you say your play style would match up closest to?
Oh man. So here's the problem, dude. I watch people who are good, and I am not good. You've played with me before. I said it before. I'll say it again for the podcast. There's 2 different kinds of streamers, man. There's those who are good, and there's those who are entertaining. And I am not good at anything, so I try to be as entertaining as possible. Everyone I watch, whether it be Critical, Landmark, the Seal, they're all good. I watch them sometimes. They're all really good. I don't think I found a good ABI streamer who is like just good to watch because he's funny. Like Peanut and Tarkov. Like, granted, if you ever watch Peanut, like Peanut lock in, he's really, really good. But a lot of times he just dies. But people watch him because he's entertaining. I have yet to find that AVI streamer that I feel like is just entertaining to watch, even if they're not good personally. But the most, I can't say who I'm the most like. Maybe Critical because he's kind of a spaz, and I get told very often my mannerisms are what people find the most entertaining when they do watch me stream. So maybe him. I know we both do that like eyebrow raise thing and the fucking weird twitchy mannerism. So maybe like him, not like as good by any means. What would you say for yourself? Who would you like if you had to like put yourself in the box of like this is the streamer I play the most like? Who would you consider yourself like?
I'd probably say Solo just because like he's like a blend, right? So he's not overly aggressive like everything like okay, let's break this down real quick. So I would say someone that's really aggressive that is good was probably like maybe Bake Jake or Sura, maybe. I would say they're like really
Yeah.
aggressive
Yeah.
players. And I wouldn't say I'm like super aggressive, but like I'm not super passive. I like to find that blend. Like I'll push when I need to push and I'll sit when I need to sit. Like it's funny. I play like a solo when I play with a team, but I also like to play with a team good. I don't hang in the back. I just kind of like sit in the middle and like try to support my team, but I don't push every gunfight. Like I try to get information.
Right.
So and Tuna is not bad at this game by any means.
Terrible.
No, no,
Dog
no,
shit,
no, 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 no,
buddy.
no.
Not good.
Not at all.
Tact is very good at the game though. He's downplaying himself a lot. I remember the very first time I played with Tact and his friends. And this I'm a lockdown stand. I'm not good enough to be in Forbidden. Now I have since playing with them realized that I can go to Forbidden and do some things, but I was like lockdown only. And I played a lot of solo. And I remember jumping in with Tact and they're like, okay, did you guys bring gases? Did you guys bring this? I was like, yo, we're gassing doors? Like, what are we doing right now? We're in armory. And they're like, all right, we need that door was just hit. 1 minute 40's hit, so that's got to be middle or medical, but it's most likely medical because nobody hits medical because it's a fucking shitty door to hit in armory. I was like, what is happening? I didn't know any of this stuff about the game. Like, I'd been playing the game for like months, but I like not to that level because I was just going in there having fun, just getting kills. And they were like playing so tactical, and he was tactical donuts back then, so it tracked. I was like, dude, there are different levels to this game, and I am not at this level. Now, that helped me grow as a player, though, because I got to like experience what it's like to be good, and now I've actually taken what I've learned from playing with y'all to, to my buddies and started using more tactical play and more serious play when we go to Forbiddens. But I'm still a lockdown stand.
Hey, that's all right. It's lockdown. You get a better variety with gunfights. It's not just all one gun.
No, not all HKs with full T6, which is, I can't afford full HKs with full T6. I always call myself the professional pro AVI player. I can't afford it.
That's all right. You're getting there. You're building your wealth day by day.
I was down to 660K like 2 days ago, buddy. I'm not building anything.
Yeah, but what are you at right now?
Oh, like 11 mil.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like
I'll fluctuate.
No, because sometimes he'll be like, let's build, and then he'll like, okay, let's just dump all on a kit and go crazy.
Dude, especially if I have a night where I have like a more like active viewers in the chat, I'll do everything for content. I'll spend that money to try to make a good run for these people. And don't ever let Tax fool you. He will try to tell you he doesn't have a lot of money in this game. Dude is stacked in game. All right, very rich. Probably top 500 rich people in the game.
I don't know.
He's a rich guy. He's a rich guy.
I don't know about top 500.
Top 500 richest streamer. How about that? Richest streamer. That's probably fair because there's probably like 600 streamers still or something. I don't know.
I'll a lot of my people that I play with, a lot of my buddies that I play with, they like to give me shit because they call me a loot goblin, but it's like Hey, if I know that no one else is out in Armory, because Armory's our main map that we play, and no one, people get out, you can see your ping drop and monitor that. And if everyone's out, I'm gonna go loot. Why not? I'll grab another bag and
Absolutely.
go. Because some people just get out, and I'm like, oh look, I just found a red over here on the other side of the map that you guys didn't go to.
And that's usually how I lose all my money. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go do that, but I'm not good enough to to fight the people when I encounter them out there. So I'll take the risks without having the skill to mitigate the risk, while I'm out there.
I don't even think it's skill sometimes for me. It's honestly just dumb luck. Part of the game is dumb luck, especially when you get hit in the head and it ricochets.
Yeah, that feels so bad when you're shooting T5 ammo and you ricochet off a T2 helmet when you're firing on somebody. I'm like, oh, dude, what is going on? But I think that is probably gonna wrap up our first episode here. We're right at the time that we kind of wanted to be at. I think, unless you have any closing, closing statements or anything you want to say before we wrap it up. We gotta save some content for the other episodes. We keep talking too much. We're gonna drop it all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, you guys. The only thing I want to say is get on Arena, get out there, make some money, kill some people, have some fun.
Get on Arena, dude. Get on Arena. I want to see every single person playing games to play Arena. Like, I want to see this community grow incredibly, like, large. I wanted to see be huge. And if there's anything, me or Tact, I know Tact feels the same way, to get you to play this game, whether it's like advice or like say you want us to put out a video showing you how to do something, dude, I think we'd do it. I think you'd do it. I think I'd do it. We want people in the game. Whatever we can do to bring you into the game, dude, just let us know.
Absolutely.
And if there are those things you want to see, like, drop a comment, say, hey, I want to see this. And if there's not, dude, just tell us your coolest Arena Breakout Infinite story. There's a lot of really clutch, really cool stories that people have. And sometimes people just want to brag, but they don't have the outlet to do that. So if you have like a really cool game that you did, even if you think, oh, maybe it's not worth posting, just post it in the chat, dude. Tell us about it. We'll talk about it. We'll share our experiences if they were same or similar as yours, and build some rapport in the chat.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's gonna wrap up our first episode of TnT Extracted. We'll be back next week, kind of breaking down the latest news from Arena Breakout Infinite. We'll probably have some more news, hopefully some more news or some new patch notes for Season 4 coming up. I know it's kind of early, but they do make some meta changes from here and there. And then if you enjoyed this episode, you could follow the TnT Extracted TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. We haven't started streaming on Twitch yet, but we will be there shortly. It's all under TnT Extracted. And then, if you do not feel obligated at all, you can follow Tact Donut, TACTDONUTS, right?
Correct.
On Twitch and TikTok. I'm not sure if you have a YouTube.
I do.
And a YouTube. And do you have any other plugs? I don't want to. I'll let you plug your plugs.
No, those are the only plugs. I think Twitter might be coming soon, but at a later time.
I got and then the Lucky Tuna TV. People call me Tuna or Lucky. Most of the Lucky Tuna TV is actually the handle. I got Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Whatever you want, dude. I'm there.